Hi everyone, I'm making this video today because I've had quite a lot of messages from people about their coming out story and how negatively it's going and how badly it's going, right, and all the problems. And it really breaks my heart because I want to share the knowledge that I used for my coming out story so that you can have the best coming out possible, you know? So basically, you cannot expect to have a good coming out if you are fearful, if you feel guilt and shame, if you think the negative possible outcome. You can't have a good coming out because whatever you're thinking, you're manifesting. Also, if you are an angry person inside, you're nasty, you're mean, you're judgmental, you're horrible, you're rude to other people or to yourself, then again you can't have a good coming out story because what you do to others is doing what you do to yourself. So you cannot expect to feel anger and at the same time get love from others, because everybody around us can feel that energy and sense it. So if inside of you you're bubbling with judgment or fear or negativity, then you're pumping that out and people are going to react back to you. It's karma, it's instant karma, and it comes back at you. So I've had a few clients, male and female, who I advise firstly, get into a good high vibe state and then inform your parents. Or those who just come to me and say, you know what, I've told them and they're never going to understand, and then they don't. And then they get themselves in a pickle, they end up in hospital, they get themselves really, troubled, and all the abuse starts coming. So what would I recommend? I would recommend working on yourself first for a couple of months to a year. And you do that by removing the guilt and the shame within, and my book Bollywood Gay explains exactly how to do that in the action sheets and the tips that are there and the information. So purchase that, which is coming out next week or so. And also to start being a good human being, good person inside, start being loving and kind to others. Don't expect the worst case scenario because you'll attract it. Expect the best and start thinking in the most wonderful way. Inside your head, start visualizing and imagining that your parents already accept you and also that your family are okay. And if this firstly sounds quite difficult for you to actually comprehend, then ease yourself in through saying affirmations such as, my parents are coming around to accepting the way I am and who I am. They give me space to be the person I'm meant to be. And keep affirming to yourself these sort of words of encouragement to bring yourself out. You cannot feel hatred or negativity or guilt or shame or depression about who you are and be in a very negative state and then just blurt it out and expect everything's going to be fine. Because only when you're at a balanced, peaceful state within you and you believe in your core and bone that everything's going to work out, will it do so. I'd also recommend that you don't come out straight away, work on yourself as I said, but maybe you need to move away from home perhaps if it's very, very difficult and violent or aggressive environment where you're unable to be yourself and be in that peaceful state. Maybe you need to remove yourself. So therefore maybe having a good education or a good job as a backup where you have finances can be very, very good for you. You can also have support from friends. So when your family is adjusting to this, you might need friends to comfort you. So make sure you have good foundational roots with people. Also, I would work on your relationship with your family before you've come out even, so that you are on good terms with people, with your siblings, with your cousins or with your family who you can trust, and try to understand their point of view. So a lot of the time we are stuck in our ego mind, we cannot see beyond the fear that we're stuck in, but if we remove ourselves from that and doing an exercise where basically we close our eyes and we imagine the point of view of our mother or our father, what they want the best for us, so they may be stuck in fear and they may think that they know better. So understanding another person's way of thinking and empathy can help you kind of reach out to them. And so what I used to do, I obviously got an education, moved away from home, had money, was stable and financed. I also told people I worked on myself to get myself into a better mental state, and I told people every day that my parents loved me and accepted me for who I was, even before I had come out. It might have sounded like, you know, I was making it up. However, I believed it, and my interactions with my parents on the phone improved, and I started believing the best case scenario. I started doing visualization exercises where I believed that, you know, everything was working out. I was with the partner of my dreams. The parents loved and accepted him and me, and everything was fine, and there was peace. And also, another thing is seeing beyond. What do I mean? Seeing beyond this physical structure. This is one life of infinite amount of lives that you're living. And in this life, you're meant to be LGBTI. This is your purpose. And you're here to expand consciousness of humanity in the universe and tell others through your example that your happiness does not depend upon my conformity. You know, accept your happiness is what you do for yourself and not who I am. And you're teaching therefore unconditional love, how to love another person unconditionally. You're not a round peg that's going to be put into a square hole, a square peg that's going to be put into a round hole. You are your own person. So seeing beyond that, rather than like drowning in this one life, oh God, you know, this one life and the desires and stuck to this whole material structure of the earth, it does not matter. This is one life of many. Yes, in this moment it seems like it's the end of the world. However, this life you're gay, this life you're lesbian, next life you might be straight, you might be transgender, you might be an alien, right? You might be an animal or whatever. So do not take things too seriously, do not take yourself too seriously, do not take this whole Asian society culture or your community too seriously. They are stuck in their own rigid ways. However, you can see beyond that, and therefore the hold of these sort of restrictions or what other people say will no longer bother you, because Mom, Dad, this is one life of infinite lives and it doesn't bother me. And don't run away as such after you've come out. So don't block your parents out altogether. You've paved your way, you've visualized, you've spoken highly, you've removed the negativity, you've become a good person, you don't judge, bitch, moan, you're really, really kind and you're working on yourself. Of course you can trip, you're human, you can fall, however you're working on it. And when you've come out, be there for your parents, because they're going to need time to adjust. So answer their questions, be there for them. Perhaps before coming out, go to your local doctor to see whether they're supportive. Do they speak the language of your parents? If you need linguistic support, then my book Bollywood Gay has 13 different languages of coming out, which you can give to your parents. Again, I would say don't come out until you've read my book, because my book will change your life and change your mind, and it's amazing. And really, really, really get yourself out of that negative conundrum, because I've got people right now who basically thought the worst case scenario, told their parents and blurted it out, were living with their parents, weren't financially secure, had a job. Now the parents and brothers and sisters have turned on them, made their life a misery and a hell. They've ended up in hospital or worse, and they're just making themselves ill. Because initially they thought it was wrong. They kept saying, you know, I hear this a lot. They're never going to accept me, what can I do? You don't know my family, you don't know what I've come through. I'm sorry, but I came from a very aggressive, fighting family background where a lot of stuff was going on. So, you know, and I've worked with clients and people who basically have had a lot of trauma happening. So anything is possible. You also have the authorities. If you live in the West, you have LGBT organisations all around the world, even in India, Pakistan, Bangladesh. And you can apply for asylum, which I'm making a video about next week or so. And so really work on that. Really work on that on yourself and get to that place where you feel 100%, or if not 80-90% good about who you are. Maybe interact with LGBT organisations, have LGBT friends or people who have come out, so that you can feel a lot more comfortable in yourself. Don't just get off the bat and come out. Be very careful and very meticulous with this and take your time. There's no rush to do it. Follow your gut. Do what's best for you. If currently your gut's saying that your parents are going to disown you or be horrible to you, then you're going to bring that to you. So therefore that's not the right time to come out. Therefore it might be time for you to work on yourself or move away. and then really work on that positive love within. And as soon as you're vibrating at the highest vibration and frequency and feel really good, which is joy, love, happiness, you accept yourself, you do not mind who you are, you're comfortable being yourself at work, at school, at college, at uni, around friends, and then family will come eventually. And anything's possible because we do not understand the power of the mind. The power of the mind is beyond what we know, and we can literally think our way into what we want. We can will it if we really believe it. However, there might be parts of us that are kind of still stuck in that negativity and that fear tactic. So we need to do shadow work, which is facing the actual shadows, the negative sides of us, and heal them. So say for example your limiting thought is gay people can never get married, or they don't have successful relationships, they always cheat, there's no life in being gay, what is the point? Then my friend, you are not at a right time for coming out, because you don't even understand and accept yourself at the moment. You are thinking who you are or what you are, your people, your LGBTI people are wrong and not right. Therefore you are fixated on the side of a life which is negative. Have you ventured into positive LGBT role models, loving, caring, people who are not, you know, into addictions and self pleasures and desires and negativity? You know, there are lovely people out there. Assign yourself to work with them and understand them and be a good person. Maybe do role modeling for LGBT. When you feel comfortable in yourself, life will work in your favor. So don't be afraid to face your darkness. You will come out of it. And if you need more help, you can always contact me on my website, myspiritualsoul.com. Subscribe to my newsletter so you'll know when my book comes out as well, which it should be coming out soon. Just sorting out the font. And comment, like and share. The importance of your coming out should not be taken lightly. You need to prepare the environment within yourself so that it can come out outside. And I wish you all the best in your coming out, and do read my book. It explains exactly how to do it. Thank you very much. Have a good week.